Hustle, Monetizing Your Game Stream, presented by Gamefiili, where we talk tips and strategies to help you monetize your game stream and turn your pay time into play time. Remember, I'm still doing that intro. We're still working on it. I'll get it right. I was pretty close that time, right? I was really close. Gamers, thank you for joining me today. If you're on here and you're watching our videos and you're following us, then you're obviously one of these people that are truly interested in making money with playing your game or streaming. Now, the reason why I say making money with playing your game or streaming is because you don't necessarily have to have a stream to make money with your gameplay. Okay? The reason I say this is because some of you out there don't really have time for a stream, or maybe you don't want to do a stream, but you still like playing the game, and you still like getting clips and sticking them on TikTok and places like that to show off how good you are, but you really aren't interested in building a stream. But if you found out that you can make money off of the clips that you were catching, wouldn't that be great? I mean, wouldn't you be interested in just that? Some of you out there, wait one second, tech support problem. No? Okay, we're good. So some of you out there have the time and you want to stream and you enjoy streaming. And some of you don't have the time, or maybe you just don't enjoy it. And either way, there is potential income in both ways. Okay? In today's world, we can reach anyone in the world, right? Our reach is a lot bigger than it used to be. Okay, it's not restricted to our local small communities, right? So whenever let's say you're a streamer, streamers, you understand the potential of making money. Maybe you're not making money because you don't understand the process, the things and the tools you need to put together in order to make that money. Okay, you're relying on one stream of income and start earning an income, and you may spend a very long time, maybe even years, building your following on that platform before you can even get the potential to make money. Then you have to spend years getting that audience built to where you can actually make a real income on it. And that's where most streamers fail, is because they thought they were going to make a whole lot of money that way. And some do. But the majority of us that just want to play the game, stream, have a good time, and maybe make some money, it's not happening for you because there's a few things that you're going to need in order to make it happen. Okay, at the Gamefiili Academy, we give you a few of the things that you need and help you get started branding yourself, getting some partners, setting up your merch, all that stuff, even if you don't think you need it. What I call these are multiple streams of income. It doesn't matter if you don't think you need merch. Don't worry about that. Doesn't matter if you don't think you have the audience to sell merch. Don't worry about that. The reason why we have a way that works for you and your merch, even if you don't have an audience. Now, back to what I was saying to you guys out there that don't want to stream but still love playing your game, and if you found out you could make some money doing it, you would definitely do that. The little clips that you're getting, if you're putting them out there, you can add links to those clips that lead them back to your gamer nucleus, where they can buy stuff, follow you, get merch, different play, there's all kinds of stuff on there for you. Now, of course, you still have to build out the same thing the streamer has to build out. But once that little bit of work has been put into place, you never really have to do that again. You're not going to build another nucleus unless you want to start another business with a different gamer tag, right? So once you've got your nucleus in place, it works as the center of your universe where everyone knows to come and meet you. Now, here's the thing. All those little clips, you're just going to put your gamertag.com or .gg or whatever. Now, if you're going to buy that, please reward me for telling you by going to gamefilli.academy and purchasing your gamertag over there as a domain name, okay? Excuse me. Now, once you've got your nucleus in place, you're sending that little link that you're putting with your clips that you're putting out. Remember, you're not streaming, you're just grabbing clips and putting them out whenever you do something awesome, right? When you put your link in there, people can then go see your gamer nucleus, and they can see maybe your setup, your merch, partners you've partnered with, and we help walk you through all of this, okay? But they'll be able to see that, and then if they buy a controller, if they buy a t-shirt, if you might have follower A buy a t-shirt, follower B buy a controller, follower C goes over here to a partner and finds something they like and purchase it through your partner, and you still make money. Either way, decide how they want to support you, whether it be through a donation, whether it be through a purchase of a product or service that you represent, right? So that's how you can make an awesome income off of your gameplay without ever having a stream. Okay? It's as simple as that. You're just going to build a nucleus, go to Gamefiili Academy, build a nucleus. You're going to take your link to your nucleus and put it in every clip, and as people click on that link to see what it is, they'll see you, what you represent, how you game, right? And they'll decide whether or not they want to follow you or maybe sponsor you. Sponsors, it's easy for them to find you too, because they can go to yourgamertag.com and they can see everything about you and whether or not you fit them, right? Now, with all that said about making money, whether you're a streamer or you're just along the way, or a streamer may tell me something that I'm like, that's great, I need to tell other streamers about that product, that service, or maybe this way to stream, right? But our concentration is how to monetize your stream and how to make money. Now, in my grand scope is that you would join me, and then in the years to come, you will move from being a gamer and building money that way to understanding that every aspect of your life can be monetized in some way or another. No matter what it is. If you go to the bathroom, which everyone does, you can monetize even going to the restroom. Down to partnering with certain partners and selling their tissue paper, or selling their butt wipes, or selling their soap, or whatever. You can partner with people for even the time that you go to the bathroom and say, do a video about going to the bathroom. One time, you ain't got to do 20, right? You do a video about things you got to have in the bathroom, and then people will buy those things and you make money. Do a video on things you need in your kitchen. There's people that'll buy those things from those links, right? So every part of your life can be monetized. We're just going to start with gaming because that's where your passion's at. Then we'll move to you'll realize there's I could do this for this and this and this, and there's not a lot of work to put into it. And before I'm done, I spend my day on the camera all day long, and each thing I do during the day is a different audience following me for that thing. At 9 in the morning, I'm up talking about coffee and breakfast or whatever, and I've got a following for that. At lunch, I'm talking about something else, and I've got a following for that. At 4 o'clock, I've got a following for that. At 8 o'clock, I've got a different following for that. And whenever my personal gamer tag goes live with its podcast and its stuff in a few days, when it goes live, it'll be late at night at 10, 11 o'clock, and I'll have an audience for that. Okay? So every aspect of your life can be monetized in some way or another, right? But today what we're going to talk about is what you look for if you're a streamer, okay? And now this does work for non-streamers. But if you're a streamer, I want you to imagine, just sit there for a minute and imagine what your perfect stream would look like. Like, when you show up and you go live, what do you want to be there? What do you want to happen? Do you have any idea? Excuse me. You know, most gamers that I interact with, that I ask that question, they might say, "Oh, I'd like to have a big audience." Okay? One guy might say, or one girl might say, "Man, I just want to make some money. I hope people show up and, start donating and tipping so I can make some money." Somebody else says, "Man, I just want to get enough followers that I can start building an ad stream, ad revenue out of it." Somebody else might say, "I just want to be famous." Okay? But no matter the reason you're there, each one of us has the idea of what our perfect stream would look like. And if you don't, let's start there. Start with what get out, get some notes. You take notes. Take notes. And I need you to ask the question, what does perfect stream look like? when I go live on my platform, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you go live, whenever you go live on that platform, what do you expect to happen? What would you like? If I was a genie and I popped out of that bottle in front of you and I said, "Hey, I'm a stream genie. I only grant wishes for streams, and you get 3." What would be the 3 wishes for your stream? Okay, maybe a good maybe some of us would say an audience. Okay, so just any audience, right? Just anybody that shows up. Your grandma's good enough. You weren't specific. You didn't ask for anything specific, so you're gonna get whatever the genie throws at you, right? I got like 8 trolls ain't got nobody to talk to this week. I got like 22 haters that just don't like you because your hair's cut that way. Okay, boom, got you an audience. That's not what you asked for, but it is, right? So whenever you're doing this list of the things that you wish were in your stream, I want you to be kind of specific about it. Okay, whenever you talk about your audience, what kind of audience? Do you want a fun audience? Do you want an interactive audience? Do you want a what is that word I'm looking? Supportive audience? What are you looking for? Are you looking for all 3? I want an interactive, support. Yeah, man, I want it all. I want an interactive, supportive. Um, I want an audience that shows up. I want first answer. Okay, so your first answer may be, I want, and this is in most of your gamers that I've actually done this with, I want an audience curated to these things. And the word curated literally means we cut it down to what we want. Okay? In other industries, they may call this the company's, number one customer. What if you had a customer that was just absolutely perfect? Who would they look like? Who would they be? If you're a hair salon, your customer is different. Hold on, tech support, Scott. You can say it, tech support.
Target audience.
Yeah, it's your target audience, right? Okay, that's a good one. But we curate it down into an audience that likes the things you like, talks about the things you like talking about, shows up whenever you are ready to go live, understands that life happens and sometimes you may not be on schedule because they're your friends, not just your audience. When something happens in your life, they want to support you and they want to be there for you because they're not just your audience, they're your friends. Okay, and I know that sounds strange, but you could have a friendship audience with thousands of people online. Just Discord alone allows you to interact in ways that you couldn't interact in 10 years ago. Okay? So you have the ability to have several friends. And you may not be able to touch base with one-on-ones, but as you talk about the things you're going through in your life, do you really think you're the only one going through that? No, there's lots of people in your audience that can relate to what you're going through. They've either been through it or they're going through it or they're expecting to go through it. And that's how your audience learns to interact with each other too. This guy over says, "Hey man, I'm so sorry you're going through that." And then this girl over here says, "Hey, I'm going to be going through that also. I just found this out." And then somebody else says, "Hey, I went through it years ago. You're going to be just fine. I'm here for you." Okay? That's the importance of building a curated audience. Because not only are we building an audience, we got to come up with a word for an audience that is your friends, not just an audience. There's a better word for it than that. Okay, that's what I want to help you build. People that show up. I want you to write. Remember, we're doing a list here. While you're listening, you need to be writing. Yes, I want an audience that does this. 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 The reason why I'm telling you this is each one of the things that you want your audience to have, be interested in. Think of things that you love, you're passionate about, put those in there. I want my audience to love Doritos. Okay, whatever it is. Comics, movies, news, sports, whatever. Okay, because each one of these things that you put in that first answer, I want my I wish my audience was this. Every one of those answers are now tags that when you tag each one of those in the post, because now the platform you're on will search out the people that are interested in those things, and y'all will connect. Okay, so now you're building your perfect audience just off of that first answer, right? Don't miss anything, tech support. Okay, now how if you could wish? Remember, we're wishing for the perfect audience. What's your second wish? Okay, your second wish may be, let's see, the first wish was to be able to build an audience like this, right? Maybe I want my perfect audience will love to buy my merch. Love to buy my merch. Can't resist my merch. Let's put that. My perfect audience can't resist when I drop merch. Okay? Put that in there. And anything else you can think of under that. Okay? Now, what would your next wish be? Remember, we're Genie. I'm giving you 3 wishes of what your perfect audience would look like. Write it down. I'm not going to give it to you. This may take you a minute. May take you a little while to think about what you wish you would see in your audience. Okay? Then you may have another one and another one and another one that comes to your mind. And remember, you're going to be doing this for years to come. This could potentially be a side hustle to bring you in a nice income for years to come. So this list will be ever evolving. Okay? You'll have some things that'll stay on there forever. Forever. Okay? Like you may never not like Doritos. Okay? But there's going to be things that change along the way. Like, wait a minute, I just had a kid. My perfect audience would be other dads like me going through the same crap. Dads going through that crap. And now those hashtags will find you dads going through that crap. Okay? I know it sounds, sometimes when I say this stuff, and guys, I told y'all I was off the cuff about all of it. I don't sit here and plan it. It just comes out because I let the universe guide me into whatever you need to hear, because the universe guided you into money, and here I am. Here I am. Can't say that right. But, excuse me, but as much as you were probably dropped in, if you dropped in a game with me and I told you to be here, or you dropped in a game with one of my students and they told you to be here, or a friend that told you to be here to find me, then I feel like that's hold on, you're going to hear it, the universe going. They are beating your door down to say, quit asking me to help you make money playing video games and then turn off the stuff that I send to you. Remember, we had that. And if you don't know the story, go back to like episode 3 where I'd give you the story of how the universe can give you help and you keep denying it, and then you drowned. And whenever you're old and you're gray and you're asking the universe why I didn't get what I wanted out of life, the universe says, you know how many times I tried to help you? You know how many times I sent you exactly what you were asking for? And you think, that can't, that ain't going to work. Well, if it wasn't going to work, I wouldn't have showed up in front of you. Because the universe would not have put you here for the purpose of learning from me. So whenever I do this, it's all off the cuff from wherever it comes from, and it's passionate. I don't, there's no script. Okay? Because we're all here because whatever it is out there brought us together. So whatever it is out there is guiding you more than I am. The back of my brain's working, not the front, right? Okay? So there's your thing to do today. You're going to list out I wish I saw this in my stream. I wish I saw this in my stream. How about this? What if we wish we could grow on Twitch, but we also wish we could grow on Facebook, or we also wish we could grow on TikTok, or we also wish we could grow on YouTube? Is there any of y'all that don't want to grow on all of them? then make sure you put that in your wish list. Okay, because this wish list is going to become a goal for you. And I'm going to show you, excuse me, I'm going to show you how to achieve these goals, how to set up the systems and the programs that you're going to need, the processes also that you're going to need to achieve your goal. We can't just set goals and expect them to happen. You got to have a plan of action to make them happen. So everything in your wish list that you just came up with is now a goal. Okay, I want these things, and there is a way to have all of them. And all of you will be unique. All of you will be unique. Now, I'm not saying that there may not be a million of you that love a certain product, but all of you aren't going to pick 10 products and all 10 of them be the same. Or 10 things like movies, figure skating. How many of you are going to pick figure skating? There's going to be some of you, but not all of you. How many of you are going to pick Greco-Roman wrestling? Okay, some of you, but not all of you. But this builds the audience that you're looking for because it's what you want to talk about and what they want to hear about. Okay, remember yesterday's video, or not yesterday, sorry, we weren't here yesterday. We had to go take care of some external stuff. Guys, big things are coming. If you ain't in Gamefiili now, I promise you, you're going to be one of the... You remember whenever streamers were saying, hey, if you want to be a streamer, you need to get in it now. And you were like, I'm trying, man, I just don't know what to do. Well, let me teach you how to stream. And then everybody learned how to stream, and now you know how to stream, but you don't know how to make money. Well, I'm the guy that came along to teach you how to make money doing this. Okay, give you perspective of what it takes and some tools that actually work in other industries. Okay, this isn't no... if we'd have been having this conversation just 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would be so uncomfortable having this conversation with you because I couldn't believe in it. Because so many education first, then they did the work. What you've done is you've went out and you've done the work and you haven't gotten the proper education for that work. And I realize that, okay? And I am a, what's the word we use, babe? If there's an opportunist, if there's an opportunity to be had, I can find it. And that was a curse for a very long time. It was a curse to see opportunity everywhere and know, oh, that's a great, I was bouncing all over the place, all over the place. I've probably been in 100 opportunities in the last 20 years, and probably I've got 19 businesses we're running right now. That tells you I'm in every direction. But somehow when my daughter came to me and she was worried about being able to grow her following, I got interested in what happened to gamers and how, once upon a time, you went streaming and you had followers. As I done the research, I realized that during that time, there were some people that could afford to go out and get a really nice stream. And then there were those of us who couldn't. For those of us who couldn't, all we could do was watch somebody stream. So there were a few people streaming and a lot of people watching. But the ones that were watching and they really wanted to know how to do it. And then comes along classes, leaks on the internet, whatever, and companies and software. I mean, just Streamlabs alone, and I'm not affiliated with Streamlabs. I use them myself, but I'm not affiliated with them. Just Streamlabs alone, which works with overlays, it does stuff, you just got to go check it out. Just Streamlabs alone came along in the last few years. You understand? Started becoming popular. And it helped streamers be able to do things that the average person streaming couldn't do. So people started joining it so that they could do overlays and all the stuff you can do inside of a stream, right? So that's a piece of software that's come along just in the last 5 years or so. I don't know how long they've been around, but I'm sure we would have noticed them if it was a big thing back in the day, right? It wasn't. This is all stuff that's coming along in the minimum in the last 7, 8 years. So as streaming became popular, there were new things that needed to happen. Like, how do we get people to be able to stream from their console? You couldn't do that a few years ago, right? And then you could stream directly to Twitch. And stream to Stream Labs. Again, not affiliated, just pointing out how a lot has changed in the last few years to make it a lot easier for for gamers to become streamers. So the streaming part's pretty much covered. There are a few things you probably need to know about streaming. But from what I understand, once you get the concept of turn on your console, turn on your stream, send it here, turn your PC on, your little laptop, your phone, whatever you got, because you ain't got to have no fancy butted computer no more. So if you've only got your phone, then you turn your phone on and you manage your stream in your phone while you're streaming. And we've figured out now they've made it very easy to stream. So a bunch of people jumped over and started trying to stream. I don't know if y'all remember, I'm sure everybody does, I don't know why I said that, but during that pandemic thing, I don't even know if I can say that, but during that, I went to a local store, and I'll tell you, it was Walmart. I went to Walmart, and we were just looking, and I got to noticing that, and this wasn't even a month or two into that quarantine thing, I got to noticing that every console was sold out. Every console. The controllers were sold out. The battery packs were sold out. I tell you this, if I was Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo and maybe a couple PC companies, I'd get together and see if we couldn't plan another pandemic. Because money those companies made in 6 months alone it was amazing. If you could look at their books for those 6 months and see how much money they made compared to, I don't know, the last 6 years before that thing happened, I bet they made more money in the first year of the problem. And I don't know what we can say on social media. That's why I won't get canceled for saying the C word. I can't say, you're funny. I can't say the word without maybe getting canceled, right? So what I'm saying is in that first year of the quarantine, those companies made more money off of sales of consoles, PCs, software, games than they probably made the previous 3 years combined. You know how many times? Now I'm not old, but I am older. I've been around since before Atari. Okay, I've been around a minute. Okay, I've seen the Tandy computer, the Apple computer, the IBM computer. I've watched them basically come into the world of school, let alone being in your own home. Okay, I watched it. I was in school when you didn't have computers. I was in the 8th grade before I saw a computer. And then it was because I had to take computer class. Okay, because they wanted me to learn how to type. So I'd be a fast typer because that was what's going to be important in the future, because it wasn't like we were going to switch to our thumbs. Right? So that entire class feels like a waste. Because I've been sitting here learning how to type with my fingers for freaking 3 years of school, right? And then you guys switch it up on me and I got to learn how to type with my thumbs. Anyway, so what was I saying? I done jumped off the track again. Y'all know me, squirrel. So I jumped off the track. But back to your perfect stream, because I forgot where I was at.
Luck under correct knowledge.
Yeah, we talk about labor under correct knowledge, being able to work with the right knowledge, right? And that's why Gamefiili was put together for you, was because I saw that there was a lack of knowledge in an area for gamers. But this is what's funny. There's an entire library of this knowledge over here. There's other industries that use this knowledge to build massive businesses, to build massive followings, to build phenomenal amounts of money. The exact same processes that I'm trying to show you over at Gamefiili. Okay? They're simple. And this is what's scary. You will put, whenever it's the little tiniest amount of work or the simplest thing that is actually going to work. Okay? It's kind of like we talked about in episode 1, which I think technically got deleted, so you see that episode 1 LOL take 2. It was called episode 1 we didn't have our stuff set up right in Twitch, so it didn't hold it to where you could watch it later. When I ended the stream, it was gone. I players was phenomenal. I'm sure you're probably not alive. I don't know, but if you're out there, phenomenal. And I'm passing this on to gamers. So your knowledge that you gave to these players, that you gave to me, I wasn't a player, but the knowledge that I learned, I want to pass on. So y'all, if that coach isn't out there, know that his legacy lives on through you just by me telling you this. This UCLA coach, the first thing he taught his players was how to tie their shoes properly. Okay, or differently. We won't say properly because they've been tying their shoes right for years, or they wouldn't have made it all the way to college ball, right? So he taught them a different way to tie their shoes, and in that different way to tie their shoes, they went on to be champions. Now, my wife recently told me that that's actually a story in a book called Atomic Habits. I think she said that's a story, or there's something similar to it. I think she said there was a bicycle team that the coach wanted them to just improve 1% on each thing they did. Just 1%. We're gonna tie our shoes a little differently as a team. Okay? We're gonna make it 1% better, a little bit tighter, a little bit stronger. Okay? Then I want you to do this, but we're gonna do it a little bit different, a little bit more. And not much more, just 1%. Okay, then we're going to tighten our spokes on our bikes, just 1% difference. Okay, then we're going to do this 1% more. Then we're going to do this, and guess what? By the time the team went on to do the races, they were winning the races. They went from nobodies. This is an underdog story, and let me tell you what, this man right here loves a damn underdog story. If you don't think you're an underdog story, you're crazy. Where are you at? What are you trying to accomplish? Does it seem like all the odds are against you? Like you're never going to get it? You feel like no matter what, the world's holding you down? That's what a damn underdog is. And you know what happens? They find somebody or something that motivates them, that helps them, and then all of a sudden they've risen up to something more than they thought they could ever be. An inspiration to people like you and I. If you can one day wake up is to change your life. Now, I love an underdog story, but in this story, these 1%'s tying their shoe, and I'm sorry I about flared up there. Did you see it? This story is that 1% of tying their shoe better, that 1% of getting their helmet different, that 1% of maybe wearing a different clothes, that 1% of getting their bikes different, that 1%, they all began to add up. And then they were 10% better than any team, 10% better than they were, and at least 3 or 4 or 5% better than the top team. Okay, so whenever I'm talking to you about the little things that you need that seem simple, that you're like, that's stupid, I don't need that. Okay, okay. But remember, we're talking about percentages. And in my world, I call it inches. Okay, those are great stories, but I tell my wife every day when I put my head on that pillow, some days I feel lazy and don't want to do nothing. Nothing. It's the joy of running my own business and working when I want to. Now, I have tried to discipline myself to be here for you every day. This is the only thing that I pretty much have regulated my time to. My time's not regulated to when I play my game. My time's not regulated to when I take a shower, whenever I eat. My time's not regulated to whenever me and my wife have our intimate stuff. My time's not regulated to my kids, my nothing. My time is regulated to doing this between 1 and 2 o'clock for you every day. Until I can build enough videos that I can start putting them out the way I told you to grow your audience. Remember, I'm just here at Twitch building content. Every one of my videos can be broken up into 2 or 3 videos, and then I have, for every one video, I'd have 3 videos I can put on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. So if I get 10 videos here, that's 10 days of me doing this, then I've potentially got 30 videos on other platforms. And if I split that up to one a week, then I have over 30 weeks of content in 10 days. Just one more tidbit of what we're trying to teach you over at Gamefiili. Okay? Now, all those percentages begin to add up. So what I'm telling you is, if you're listening to this and you think, remember, we're just changing it by percentages. 1%. My philosophy is 1 inch. Whenever I go to bed at night, and like I said, I feel lazy some days. I don't do nothing. I might play the game all day long. I might not even play the game. I might stick my feet on my desk and watch TV all day long. Okay? But when I go to bed, I have to ask myself, did I move what today? Cool. We're an inch closer to getting there. If then in a couple days you come back and you might set up your website. We're an inch closer. Then a couple days you might come back and you might turn that into a gamer nucleus. We're an inch closer. And each one of these processes only takes about 5 minutes. It's about 5 minutes to buy your name. It's about 5 minutes to set up your website. It's about 5 minutes to set up your nucleus. It's about 5 minutes to start getting into the part about your first partner. Okay? So even though it's a little bit of stuff, some of us just don't feel like doing that all the time. And that's why our Gamefiili right now is $100, because you got a whole year to get it done. A whole year to get it done. So if you get a little bit done here, and then in a week you get a little bit done, in a week you get a little bit done, in a month you get a little bit done. In about 6 months, you're going to accidentally have a full-fledged business with your gamer nucleus, and you really just did it here and there. But for the next 6 months, it's done. Did, and you'll buy this, and then you'll go through every video in a day. You'll have your whole nucleus set up in a day, and then you'll spend the next 3 days just customizing it the way you want it. And then once it's all set up, your partners are set up, your stuff. Oh, guys, these things look good. Well, I've seen some of these gamers build these out, and with no knowledge of how to build a website. None. Zero knowledge. You don't have to know jack. If you say, I can't build a website, it's okay. I'm going to walk you through what to do. And at the end of this walkthrough, you will probably understand better how to do it. And let me tell you this, just by understanding better how to do it, you may decide, as you're critiquing and changing, I really have learned how to build a website. I could build a website for my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my niece, my nephew, my kids, whoever, and I could charge them $50. And if I just build 2 websites, I've paid for my gamer course. Right? That's the beauty of getting an education on something that you can use not only for yourself but other people. Because once you can use it for other people, you can then charge them for that or give it to them as a gift. I mean, if you've got a nephew who's trying to be a gamer or a cousin who's trying to be a gamer, and you built your nucleus, while you're making your list of what your perfect audience is going, what you wish your audience looked like, okay? Think of some things you wish you had. Like, I want you to do another list that might say, I wish my partners were these companies. Okay, now don't be ridiculous. Make sure it's companies that your audience is gonna love. Don't just want companies that are gonna make money. Okay, don't just say, oh, I wish I could be partnered with Microsoft, and every time somebody played the game I made $5. What I'm talking about, that audience to be the people that like those kinds of products also, and maybe make a list of companies that you could see yourself representing, even if you don't know if they got a partner program. We're not worried about that right now. Well, we just want you to think about if you like fishing, find you a couple of companies out there that you know of that you might want to partner with. Write them down. If you like cooking, find you a couple of companies. Think of companies that maybe you would like to represent. If the dream was to happen, right? We're a genie. We're wishing. If the dream was to happen, what company would be the company to knock on your door? And not a company that can't represent your audience. Remember that. This isn't about you. This is about your audience, and they'll make it about you. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I want you to get this done and think about your perfect audience and your perfect partners. Okay? The reason why is the more detail you put in, and be extravagant, okay? Because, excuse me, we're wishing, right? But also make sure you're not wishing just what you would love. We want to make sure that as we're wishing what we would love, that we can talk about that we can tell our audience about that. We're comfortable with it. Okay? Guys, the perfect stream, if you go back to episode 2 or 3, you'll see this again. The perfect stream has a lot more to do with just how to get your audience there. You know, in the first video, I talk about the perfect stream being you've got an audience there. Acting. They're talking to each other. Nobody's being trolly. You know, you turn it on and it says this many thousand, this many hundred, whatever people watching already. Okay? And then they're talking and they're having fun. You guys are laughing and giggling. This is the stream you don't wish to get off of. You know what I mean? The one you're like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. I got to go to bed. Or, guys, if I don't get something to eat, I'm going to die. I've got to do something. And I'm so sorry. I got to turn it off. I'm scared to turn it off because if I turn it off, it may never happen again.